Welcome back to SpiritEcho, where legends breathe and shadows tell their stories. To all our returning listeners, thank you for joining us again. And if you're new here, you've just stepped into a place where folklore and fear walk side by side. Every school has its ghost story, and in Japan, children whisper of one that hides in the most ordinary of places. A bathroom stall. They say if you knock 3 times and call her name, Hanako-san will answer. The story of Hanako-san is whispered in classrooms across Japan, but her origin is clouded in shadows. Some say she lived during the dark years of World War II, when air raid sirens wailed over Tokyo. Children were rushed into school basements and bathrooms to hide. It was there, in the dim silence of a tiled stall, that Hanako-san was trapped when the bombs fell. The walls collapsed, the smoke filled the air, and she never walked out again. Others whisper a crueler fate. That Hanako was cornered in the bathroom by someone she trusted. A teacher, a classmate, perhaps even a stranger who slipped inside. Her cries for help were swallowed by the empty halls, and the bathroom became her grave. Another story tells of loneliness, that she was bullied, isolated, and driven to despair. Her final refuge was the bathroom stall, where classmates could not see her tears. And in that quiet space, she made a choice that bound her spirit forever. The details shift from city to city, school to school. But every version agrees on one chilling truth. Hanako-san never left the school, and to this day, she waits in silence, behind a locked stall door. They say Hanako-san lingers in the 3rd stall of the girls' bathroom. Always the 3rd, as if the number itself has become her door to the living. To find her, you must enter the bathroom when it is empty, when the halls outside are silent. The air will feel colder here, heavy with the faint smell of damp tiles and old wood. You walk slowly to the 3rd stall, raise your hand, and knock 3 times. Then, in a whisper just above breath, you must ask, "Hanako-san, are you there?" If she answers, it will not be loud. It will be the soft voice of a young girl, trembling like a secret carried through the years. "Yes, I am here." And then comes the moment you wish you hadn't begun. Because if the door creaks open, you will see her. A pale schoolgirl with short, bobbed hair. Her skirt the old-fashioned red of another time. Her skin ashen. Her eyes dark and unreadable. Her lips curve into a small, uncertain smile. But once you've seen her, you may not walk away unchanged. Some say she will only watch. Others warn that if you linger too long, she will pull you inside, and the door will never open again. The stories of what Hanako-san does after you call her are never the same. Some say she is harmless, that she only appears long enough for you to see her pale face before vanishing into the air. But even then, witnesses describe the same thing, a sudden chill in their bones, as if icy fingers had brushed their neck. Others tell darker tales, that if you linger too long in front of the stall, Hanako will reach out with cold hands and drag you inside. When classmates push the door open later, they find nothing, no one. As if the person was erased completely, swallowed by her world. In some towns, the legend grows even more terrifying. They whisper that she doesn't just pull you into the stall, she pulls you into the toilet itself. A bottomless pit of water and darkness, where you drown endlessly, your screams echoing down the pipes. And then there are the variations. In certain schools, Hanako only shows herself to children, as if her spirit is still bound to classmates she once knew. But in other versions, she waits for anyone, a student, a teacher, a stranger testing their courage. It does not matter who calls her name. If you knock 3 times, she may answer. And if she does, you may wish you had never asked. Japanese schools are filled with ghost stories, tales of mirrors that whisper back, footsteps in empty gyms, music rooms that play by themselves. But none are as widespread or as feared as Hanako-san. No matter the city, the story is always the same. The 3rd stall. The 3 knocks. The soft reply that should not be there. Teachers dismiss it as childish imagination, a way to pass the time during recess. But students, they know better. Every child hears the rumor before they are old enough to truly understand it. And almost every schoolyard there ends the same way. A group of friends tiptoeing into the bathroom together, whispering nervously, pushing one another toward the 3rd stall. For some, it's a test of courage. For others, a secret rite of passage, proving you're brave enough to face what might be waiting in the dark. But beneath the laughter, the legend lingers. Because school bathrooms in Japan are often old, tiled, and echoing. Liminal spaces where voices carry strangely, where shadows pool under doors. It feels like a place where the world of the living and the dead could overlap. And maybe that's why Hanako-san's story refuses to fade. She is part of the childhood landscape. A fear that grows up with you, waiting behind a stall door. Hanako-san is not just a ghost of the past. She remains one of Japan's most famous urban legends, still alive in stories, games, and television. She appears in horror films that show her pale figure rising from a bathroom stall. In manga, she is drawn as both tragic and terrifying. A child frozen in time, caught between life and death. Even in children's games, her name is spoken, daring classmates to summon her just for a thrill. Her story has crossed generations. Parents remember whispering her name as children, and now their own sons and daughters repeat the ritual in the same tiled bathrooms. The details change from city to city, but the core never fades. The stall, the knocking, the soft voice answering from the other side. And maybe that's why Hanako-san endures, because she is not a distant ghost from a battlefield or an old temple. She hides in a place we all know, a space that feels private, safe, ordinary. And what could be more terrifying than discovering that even there, you are not alone? Ghosts are not always found on lonely roads or ancient temples. Sometimes, they are waiting in the spaces we pass through every day. Hanako-san of the toilet is more than a childhood story. She is a reminder that innocence can turn into horror, and that some spirits never leave the places where they died. So the next time you find yourself alone in a silent bathroom, listen closely. And whatever you do, don't knock on the 3rd stall. This has been SpiritEcho. To our returning listeners, thank you for walking with us through the shadows once more. And to all our new viewers, welcome to the family. Your support keeps these stories alive, echoing across time and place. Until the next tale, may your nights be quiet and your reflections remain your own.